Now, the hope of the church down through the centuries has always been that Christ's prayer, in which he prayed, "Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven," is someday going to be answered. And we believe that it is far nearer being answered at this moment, in spite of the pessimism, than at any time in history. Because we are much nearer that climactic and glorious event when Jesus Christ is going to come back and set up his kingdom. They were wanting a specific date. What is going to be the sign of your coming? And Jesus told them in no uncertain terms that there were no dates, that he did not know the day nor the hour. And he made it quite clear when he said, "But of the day and the hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only." But he said, "I'll give you some signs to look for. And when you see all of these signs taking place at the same time, you can know that my redemption is drawing nigh." It says, "Now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils." In other words, there's going to be a falling away from the faith. Christians who had professed Christ falling away, either intellectually, theologically, or morally. And every day we hear stories of people who are falling by the wayside under the impact of satanic power. Moral failures, falling away from the faith they once held, because he has always existed. From everlasting to everlasting, he is God, the Bible says. And the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us. In other words, the Logos, the Word of God, the eternal God, became flesh in the person of Jesus Christ and lived like a man among us. That's what the Bible teaches. And when you come to Jesus Christ, you have to accept that. He said there will come a day when men's hearts are literally going to fail them because of fear. Now, what could make a man that afraid? He said in the last days, all of that would be characteristic of that generation. And it sounds like you're reading a newspaper. He wasn't just another revolutionary. He wasn't just another hippie. He was not just another great man. He was God in the flesh. Jesus taught that we're to forgive. He taught a revolution in the way we're to live. He taught us that it wasn't just our outward actions that God judges, but it's the inward thoughts and intents. He said, Moses said that in the 10 Commandments, thou shalt not commit adultery, but I tell you that if you even look on a woman to lust after her, you've already committed it. He said, Moses said, thou shalt not murder, but I tell you, if you have hate in your heart against your brother without cause, you're already guilty. He lifted man's ethics to the highest plane and demanded that we live that kind of a life. No wonder they got angry. No wonder they threw stones at him. No wonder they tried to kill him. And no wonder they eventually did crucify him. He stood and said, I am God. All the evil in the world comes from the human heart. That's got to be changed. And that's why Jesus said you must be born again. You must be converted. You must have a new beginning. And he can do it. But Jesus did make the blind to see. He made the deaf to hear. He made the dumb to talk. He raised the dead. And people that were insane under the powers of demons would regain their sanity. When he died on that cross, they nailed him, they put the nails in his hands. And you know what he said? Forgive them, they know not what they do.